Welcome to Ohio Gozaimasu, THK Manufacturing of America's series on Japanese language and culture. Today we have a cultural topic for you. We're going to talk about Hinamatsuri, which is a festival that is referred to as Doll's Day or Girl's Day in English. Hina refers to the dolls that are put on display during this holiday. And matsuri is a word in Japanese that means festival. Alright, I have a pop quiz for you. If you watched our last video on the names and the kanji for the days of the week, you probably recognize these characters. They can be used to represent a date. So this is the date of Hinamatsuri. When is it? It's the third month and the third day, so March 3rd. In Japanese, that's Sangatsu Mikka, and that is the day that Hinamatsuri is held every year in Japan. Now, I have to admit that even though I lived in Japan for 10 years, I don't know much about Hinamatsuri because I have two kids and they're both boys, and this is a holiday that's for girls. Luckily, we have some experts here on staff, so we're going to turn it over to Chie and Tomomi to tell us more about this holiday.
皆さん、こんにちは。ちえです。今日は私のひな人形を持ってきました。これは私のおじいさん、おばあさんが私に買ってくれたひな人形です。この写真、私が小さい時に撮ったひな人形の写真です。こちらがおひな様、お殿様になります。日本では女の子がいるお家では2月の末から3月にかけてひな人形を飾ります。昔は7段飾りが多かったのですが、今はこのようにお殿様とお姫様だけのセットが一番人気だと思います。昔は3月3日後にすぐにひな人形をしまわないとお嫁に行くのが遅れてしまうとよく言われていました。でも私の母は早くお嫁に行ってほしくないと言って人形を結構片付けるのを遅らせていました。でも私は早く結婚したのであまり関係ないかなと思います。でも昔の人はよくそういうことを言っていました。
We also have Tomomi with us today, and she's going to tell us a little bit about the history and cultural practices around Hinamatsuri.
皆さんこんにちは、ともみです。ひな祭りは別名桃の節句と言います。
So momo means peaches, and sekku is like a seasonal festival. So this would be like peach festival in that name. And the reason for that is because it was based on the lunar calendar, which started in about February. And so the third day of the third month would have been closer to May when the peaches are blooming, right?
そうですね。そういうことですね。
Okay.
ひな祭りの起源には様々な説がありますが、昔日本には弥生時代から人の形をしたものに願いや祈りを込めるという風習がありました。それが現代におけるひな祭りの起源となったようです。
So this could even be related to things as old as Dogū or Haniwa? Wow.
そうですね。
Wow.
平安時代においては紙で作られた人形で遊ぶひな祭りが貴族の間で流行したことが今のひな祭りに大きな影響を与えていると言われています。
So the dolls were made of paper and it was called Hina, not Hina. So it's a little bit different, but I can definitely see the similarities.
昭和の時代には7段飾りのひな祭り人形が主流でした。
So the Showa era was actually from 1926 to 1989. So that's fairly recently. We were all born in the Showa period, so it was really our generation where this modern festival took its form.
Actually, I was born in the Heisei period.
Oh, that's right. You're young.
現代の、ひな人形のトレンドはコンパクトで飾りやすいもののようです。
That probably has to do with the kind of cultural shift away from multi-generational families and large traditional houses to smaller houses and nuclear families, would be my
そうで
guess.
すね。
All right, well, thank you, Tomomi, for telling us some more about the holiday. Like most holidays, Hinamatsuri has some very special foods that are associated with it. First is a kind of rice cracker that's very colorful called Hina arare. And there are also many kinds of soup that involve clams that are common on this holiday. Today, we have two kinds of food that are special for Hinamatsuri. The first is Shirashi Sushi, and also a dessert called Ichigo Daifuku. Now, Chirashi Sushi is a kind of unrolled, unpressed sushi that has many different varieties in different regions of Japan. But we're going to get Alexis to try both of these and tell us what she thinks. This is going to be her first time to try them. So first is the Chirashi Sushi, and I'll tell you how I made it. Here's how I made the Chirashi Sushi. I mixed sweet sushi vinegar into the rice with some salt, sesame seeds, and minced bamboo shoots. In place of bamboo shoots, pickled lotus root and stewed mushrooms are also common. That mixture forms a bed of rice, and then on top of the rice, I sprinkled thinly sliced fried egg, salmon roe, and strips of nori seaweed. Chirasu means to sprinkle or to scatter, and that's how this sushi gets its name. When you eat it, you can add wasabi and soy sauce as you like.
Okay, so I'm going to try the Chirashi Sushi. If you guys can see that. It looks really good. It smells very much like sushi smells. Kind of fresh and a little bit fishy, to say the least. But here we go. Itadakimasu. It's good.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So how does it compare to other kinds of sushi?
Well, I don't normally eat a lot of sushi that has like the salmon roe on it, but it really gives it like a stronger fish, but also like the texture, it gives it like a silkier sort of texture.
Yeah, I like it because you get to have both the texture of the egg and the salmon roe,
Mm-hmm.
and it has different texture from other kinds of sushi.
And is the egg slightly sweetened as well?
You can. I did not, but I did use sweetened vinegar in the rice.
Yeah, because it does have a little bit of that salty but slightly hint of sweetness in it too. Which, with the soy sauce added on top, kind of enhances that salty sea flavor.
I always have mine with wasabi. I know that you don't like wasabi, so that's another level of flavor, another layer you can get if you put that in there too.
Yeah, it's good. You did a good job.
Thank you. Next is the dessert. It's called Ichigo Daifuku. Ichigo means strawberry, and Daifuku is a kind of dessert made of beans, sweet azuki bean paste inside of a rice mochi cake. Now I bought the Daifuku, but I did put the fresh strawberries in myself, and it is oftentimes enjoyed with green tea.
Next, I'm going to try the Ichigo Daifuku that Justin assembled. It looks really nice. I don't know how many of you have had mochi before, but it's essentially just a typical, looks like a typical bean paste mochi with a strawberry in it, which I do like mochi, so I'm very much looking forward to this. So, itadakimasu. Yeah, very chewy, very sweet. The strawberry gives it a really nice acidity, like a nice high note and like a fruit flavor compared to the bean paste, which is really, really quite nice. And I know that this is supposed to be eaten with tea, so.
The bitterness of the tea probably interacts.
Yeah, the green tea goes really nice with it too, because this is more earthy flavor. So to put that with like a really sweet taste really is really nice.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for joining us. That's all we have for you today. If you liked the video, please remember to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And let us know in the comments if there are any other topics or Japanese festivals, holidays, or cultural practices that you want to know more about.